Hi there and welcome to the channel. I'm Slate and today I'm going to be going over an updated guide for how to bomb in GvG Season 4. Now I am aware that we don't have that many weeks left for this season, but the good news is that this is going to, the tower that I show you the strats on is going to become the keep next season, so this will still help you out for the next couple of months. The other thing that I will say is that all the timings for this is done with level 5 bombs, which have a 20% speed increase on those that are level 4 or under. So if you have the bombs that are under level 5, you are going to have to adjust the timings just slightly, but it is pretty easy to practice these strats and figure it out. For example, if I say to drop the spiders on the middle tile and the bombs on the front tile, you're going to have to put the spiders on the back tile, bombs on the front tile. So it's really not too much of a difference, but yeah, just keep that in mind if you are trying these and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, why isn't it working as well as it should? But anyway, I still hope this will be helpful for you. It is still one of my absolute favorite strategies, and so without further ado, I'm going to roll the clips from the live stream that this is taken in, which was my members only sort of behind the scenes. So yeah, without further ado, here is how to bomb in GvG Season 4. When you're trying to decide who you're going to bomb, let me just find one boat. Oh, perfect. Let's see who we're going to go up against. This sort of formation is really good for trying to do a bomb strategy. And what do I mean by that? You have a tank and then you have two heroes close together that you are trying to get rid of. So for this example, it's going to be Valkyra and Glacius, and that is what you're going to try and get rid of, and then you need to look at the rest of the board to work out what it is that you're going to do to finish the board. So thankfully, if we knock out Valkyra and Glacius, we are only dealing with a single target mage in Nocturne. Even if it was like an Ajax there or someone else, it's really quite good to use a flyer because you're not going to be able to take out the tank. So for this, we are going to use our spiders, our bombs, our lightnings, our epic flyers, and then we are also going to bring in the speedy boys because I'm going to show you the two ways that you can bomb with and without speed. So quick affiliate, I would always recommend that whatever unit you're using to get the bombs to pass through is your highest affiliation, and that is because quite honestly, if the bombs explode, they're done. They're fantastic. But if the bomb doesn't explode, it doesn't matter if they're your highest affiliation, you haven't got through. So that's why I definitely recommend making your spiders be the top affiliation, and or your abyssals or rare tanks. And yeah, but this is what we are going to get started with. So, like I said, there's two ways that you can bomb with spiders. First is going to be with speed and without speed. Now, here's the interesting thing. You need to make sure that your spiders don't run into an ultimate, okay? Because if they do, they're gonna get like completely wiped out. So for example, if I just quickly send these guys here, Valk is going to ult and pretty much wipe them out, okay? Like, done. Now, if you have enough of a BP difference, you might be able to tank it. And what that means is you can do something called insta-bomb, which is where as soon as it gets to 9 cost, you send the bomb formation. And what that looks like here, we're going to do a little tap, tap, tap. Now the placements are the same for this. It's very straightforward. I always recommend double spider, and so spiders go into that middle tile. When you see the third spider drop, that is when you're going to put down the bombs. 1, 2, and then you can let them go. But if your opponent has an absolute metric ton of BP, you will die before the explosion happens. Thankfully, nothing died, and so then it is just like an easy flyover finish. But let's say you are up against an Arrogance or up against an Ardia, someone who you don't want to run into the ult with, or if you're looking at the team and you're like, oh my goodness me, this team has got so much more BP than me, there is no way I know that I could tank an ultimate with my demon soldiers. So in that case, what we need to make sure we do instead is bait first. Use one of them as the bait unit, for example, because we're just gonna ignore Nocturne here. We can't do it. Usually someone in this position would have something that would sort of like bait a bit further, but that's okay. Like an Ajax. That's like a prime spot for an Ajax. So sending off things will do that. Again, we're gonna wait for about 10, I would say. Yeah, and then this time we're gonna actually put the Speedy Boy in the front. Now the reason we want to do that is what will end up happening is the Speedy Boy will reach the tank by the time your bomb and spiders come through. Oops, that was off 9. Increasing the block count, which gives you just one extra thing to go through. Obviously they've just been frozen by Haas, but you know, things will make it through and everything's down and dead. Oh look, even a bomb is making it to the portal. That's great. The thing that's difficult, I would say, is working out whether or not you need to speed or whether you can make sure that you can do it without the Speedy Boy. And unfortunately, that is going to come down really specifically on the team and how quickly people get their ultimates up back, or how quick the window is. Because remember, the like main principle is to get your units through without hitting the ultimate, like in that gap. So if it's going to be tight, you want that extra speed from the Speedy Boy. If it's not going to be tight, then you can do with it as you are. And unfortunately, most of the time you have to get it bang on 9. I'll actually show you guys a sneaky trick. Shall I show you something really, really sneaky? If you want to know how to do the fastest bomb drop down, you're actually going to send it before it hits 9. And what you'll see is on the little flame, the flame that goes like there, I don't know how to do it, it's sort of at like 10-2, if that makes sense. So around there, you can actually drop the spiders. And by the time they pop up in the right place, you can put down your bombs and it saves you that like extra little speed. Okay, I'll show you how to do it slightly slower. The main thing is to do what's called the super slow. So making sure that you're on 1x speed and then clicking a unit so it slows the clock down super slow. Super slow. And then, you know, you can just put one, let's say you do that, and the other one, do that. Because it's super slow, even if you put them down slower, you'll still be okay. I mean, you'll see here that the spiders are slightly spread out more because they haven't been directly dropped in front of each other. But usually, as long as it's within like a half tile, I'd say that you're gonna be okay, basically. So that is how you super drop, basically, or double drop in the super slow. Because it really does make a difference. Because I'll show you again, if I try and do that just on 1x speed without clicking anything, this is what happens. So we're gonna get to 9 and it's like, gosh, trying to do it and you fumble it, right? So now nothing, if I show you here, nothing's in the right places, and unless my spiders are like hella strong, which I think they're just going to, but they don't get to that place that I was trying to get them to. The other thing with different things like that is if you put it on 2x, right, and then try and slow drop on 2x, you'll see it still moves very quickly. That if I then double drop and do the spiders, it's still, do you see it's slightly spaced out more than if I do it on the 1x? Now, for certain things like this, I know, having practiced this team, that I could do a 2x double drop, but if you want to be safe, always do 1x super slow, drop your bombs, and stuff like that, especially if you're doing it with a speed demon as well. If you're doing it with these guys, 8, 9, like, because they're going to drop even faster, then they're going to move and really overtake too quickly. So, I mean, that was okay. That was fine. Let's do the rare tanks, shall we? Let's do the bizoos, because rare tanks actually, we'll do it slightly different. So quick affiliate, start. Now, the only reason you will use a Bizzle over a spiders, like I much prefer using spiders to a Bizzle, but because the Abyssal, when you get them to level 5, become a 5 block, sometimes the way that things are slightly set up, you want to basically do 1 Abyssal and 2 bombs. So I'm going to show you how that timing works. So what you are going to do is wait for 10 cost. Now again, ideally you do not want to be running into ultimates, but here we go. The Abyssal goes on the back, and as soon as you get to 6 cost or close enough, you're going to click on a tile unit to super slow it down. And then you are going to double drop the bombs on the back tile as well. And what you'll see is that the units, the Abyssal will reach the tank just in time, the bombs will pass through, and everything goes kapow! And then you get to just finish by flying over, which is great and super straightforward. And you know, I don't know why I put the speed boy there, but anyway, that's how you Abyssal bomb. And yeah, they're much better when you have level 5, 100%. So much better when you have level 5. Anyway, moving on to the last type of way that you can bomb, and that is going to be the rare tank bomb. Okay, do the affiliations. Here we go. Again, rare tanks. The thing you need to survive so that you can succeed is your first affiliation. Always. 100%. So here's the thing. Now, unfortunately, with this team, this is not going to be the most ideal strategy, so I'm not sure if it's going to work. But yeah, I think what we'll do is bait. And then, because Valkyra, magic damage versus red tanks, not a good look. Very not a good look. But she's going to go, and we are going to double drop again on the back tile. Let them get through, and then again at 6, that is when we double drop the bombs on the front tile this time, and they will pass through and go ka-ka-ka-boom like that. But the question is, like, well, why would you use spiders? Why would you use Abyssal if they all work on a team like this? Well, because you're not always going to be going up against a team like this. And what you're going to go up instead is something that is, you know, maybe close to the portal. So if we're going to talk about portal tower bombing, that is when the rare tanks really come into their own. Get rid of the flyers and bring in the doggies. Doggy, 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 doggy. You can also do spiders. So let's say you're really freaked out about what there is at the portal. You can use something like this, which is a little bit insane, but I'll show you how it would work. Now, like I said, you're like, oh my goodness me, it's so scary, I don't understand what to do. Oh no, how on earth will I get through all of these people? I mean, you may not actually say that, but like, let's say you wait for Arrogance's ult to then send your first units to bait. Let them get to that point of baiting. And don't worry about overrunning the cost, it's absolutely fine. Better to be safe than sorry. And who's got the long ults? We'll just sort of go like this, and those rare tanks again on that back, because we want them to survive as much as possible. But let's say you're like, oh, I'm just not sure things are going to get through. You can still then wait for 9 cost. Let's not do it on 2x. And then we are going to spider. bomb, bomb. Now you will notice that the spiders go a little bit ahead. That's okay. And then everything dies. A glorious death of fire. And you win the match. Ta-da! So yeah, it sort of depends. But if you were to do that without the spiders, let's say you're just gonna bomb it, then this is how you finish with dogs. Because dogs are the best GvG unit in the game. And I will die on that hill. 100% happy to die on that hill. No doubts about it. No problems. Why are they the best unit in the game? Because they can be used as a finisher, they can be used to attack, they can be used to overrun, they can be used in so many different ways. I love the epic dogs so much. So we're gonna let the ult start to get a little bit gnarly. Gonna put down the tanky boys. Gonna wait for 6 cost. Take it off the speed. Like so. Pop, pop. Here we go. Bomb's gonna go through. And the reason tanks are good, so I think the best way to explain it is tanks are good when you are up against like slows or something where you don't want the spiders to die. Now, we weren't able to take out arrogance, and this is why dogs are so good. Are you ready? The doggies are going on that front tile, and they are going to overrun and kill. Oh no, they didn't kill, but they were able to get through arrogance. So, you know, your bomb has failed, right? I wasn't able to take out arrogance that run. RNG is a thing. And yeah, I get to finish with dogs still because they are just the bestest unit ever. The one thing I'll say about bombing is it really is about timings. It's almost more what I'd call like a sniper type of strategy because it is really precise compared to like other things. You know, making sure that you get it bang on 6 or bang on whatever the thing is really can be the difference between successfully running and not successfully running a bomb. But it is a really good strategy because what you're just saying about needing more BP, this lets you beat teams with more BP. So if I actually, hang on a minute, if I take that first team, which is 467, if I just wreck my BP, let's bring them down to 54, right? If I send them into the ultimate, just the spiders, right? They get wiped. Do you see? I am completely out BP'd in terms of what I could do against this team. So instead, what we're going to do is bait and pray. It's the way I like to describe it. Are you climbing on the sofa? Yeah, okay. So yeah. Valk's gonna do her thing. I'm gonna wait for it to get to about 10. And it's about, it's this for any ult timing unit. 8, 9. Double drop those spiders. And then the bombs. And you'll see, even with that much lower BP, I was still able to take out the units because of the timings. And that is genuinely why bomb strategies are the best for when you basically can't like overpower them and stuff. But anyway, that is going to wrap things up for today's video and how to bomb in GvG Season 4. I do hope that you find it helpful, and let me know in the comments below how you go on and if there are any other GvG strategies you would like me to go over in this kind of detail. Thank you also so much for watching, and a special thank you to all of my members for making today's video possible. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, so until then, take care and bye for now.